This is Metal for the Masses, the only place that plays it harder, faster, and louder than anybody else on live365.com. I am joined here by, the very first Swedish band, period, that has ever graced us here on Metal for the Masses. So our reach is ever expanding. This is the band Atomic Spitfire. Death and roll is your category of rock and metal, sir? Sirs?
That's correct, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, man. I been listening to the two tracks that I have from you, Head and Roll, and let me see here. What was the other one called? It was called Neon Rain. And I dig it, man. I'm getting like a lot of I try to like compare it to something else, just use as a reference point. I'm hearing like a lot of Church of Misery, like that kind of a vibe.
I love them, so they're a great band.
It's just that chunky bass riff, man, that you guys seem to have in all of your tracks so far, dude. I love it. But tell us a little bit about yourselves, man. Explain your band, how it came to be, and what's going on with you guys.
Well, the band started 1 year ago. We're a fresh new band. I just quit a band before this one and wanted to start something new. And I contacted Robin. First, we're gonna play some sludge, doomy, stoner kind of stuff. But then our drummer we had then dropped off. Then we got Elias, our drummer right now, and we wanted something faster, something more riffy. And then we both loved Entombed.
Okay.
And then we got into the death and roll.
Yeah,
but that's about
it. It kind of ended up there. I mean, it was a good like genre if you gotta categorize it or like give it a genre. We liked death and roll because we also listened a lot to like Jesus Christ the Supercar.
Yeah, Helicopters.
Yeah, Helicopters.
Hard rock.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
I dig it. So you said, did you say horror rock? You said
hard
rock. Hard.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I was like, horror. Oh man,
that would be a nice mix.
Getting into my my Misfits kind of love. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty dope, man. For 1 year, you guys are hitting pretty heavy with these two tracks, Death and Roll and Neon Rain, man. I didn't know you guys have only been around for like a year. That's crazy. Because like I've interviewed a couple bands that have been around for like a couple years putting stuff together. I haven't interviewed a Death and Roll. I've interviewed like a Black and Roll band, which little bit, way different, Death and Black is but no, for only being around for a year, man, you guys are fucking killing it. Like this stuff sounds heavy, it's a great direction. I definitely hear, you guys wanted to start off with like a sludge doom kind of thing in the beginning, but I kind of hear a little bit of the influence in a lot of these tracks. It definitely gets you head banging, it gets the body moving. It is some good hard rock, man. I dig it. I feel like we missed something in the beginning, and it was your names. Please
of course.
Please introduce yourselves to the world.
Of course. My name is Klaus, and I'm the singer of the band.
Yeah, and I'm Robin. I'm the guitarist.
Very nice.
One and only.
The one and only. Close, right? I'm saying that right? All right. Sir, listening to you now, I'm amazed that you're able to belt out this sound that you guys have. How do you do it?
Well, a lot of practice, and at the start it was really hard, especially when I'm asthmatic also.
Oh, so no smoking for you then.
No, exactly. Just practice. That's all it takes. and be brave. Don't hesitate.
Gotcha. Well, you are pretty brave, sir. You got to be brave to have a beautiful Fu Manchu like that, you know?
Oh, thank you.
You got to be pretty brave to rock one of those, man. You're killing it. All right. So 2 tracks, Head and Roll, Neon Rain. Let's talk about them, man. They both came out this year. So you guys really are, you know, starting off the year strong. 2 singles out so far. What went into them? Like,
Yeah, can I just correct you? Because actually the Neon Rain, that was the first track we did, and actually we released it last year.
last year. Oh,
Yeah. So in like
July or something like that last year.
The thing was we wasn't really pleased with the mix and everything. We got the production was
really bad.
yeah, it was
So-
best, and so actually we removed it and we sent it to Studio Fluff.
Yeah, and I got a remaster.
And got it remastered. So we
gotcha. So excuse my my mistake then, because when I'm
it's
yeah, because when I'm looking at everything on my iTunes, I look at like, when did this stuff come out? What was the year? It said 2024. So I'm just like, wow, they're 2 tracks and it's already July. Like, these guys are fucking killing it right now. Like, I can't wait to see what else they're gonna pump out. But that's totally my bad. But then let's start in chronological order then. Like, let's start with Neon Rain. When you guys got together and you guys were like, all right, we got to put music out. What are we going to do? How did Neon Rain come to be?
You had a riff first?
Yeah, it usually starts with me having an idea, a riff. I record it on my, like, I just get something in my head, and then sometimes I record it, like if I have the guitar and everything close by, I record it right away with my phone. Sometimes I don't. Then I just like sit with my phone like this. But then when I get home, I can record it. But usually that's how it starts. At least with Neon Rain, it did. So I recorded some riffs and sent to the guys, and yeah, you thought it sounded cool.
Yeah.
So we then we like tried to make something of it. Like, took the riffs and let's take this one and put it here, and this riff will fit here, and yeah.
So what's the how did you guys like come out to be like, all right, like, when we got this track together, you're into your phone doing the into your you're gonna send it to the guys, you guys are getting it all together, coming up with like names for your tracks. I mean, like Neon Rain, that sounds pretty hard. Like, so like, how did that all come to be?
Yeah, I just thought the riff sounded very 80s hard rock. And I thought, what is very 80s? Neon. The color neon is very 80s. And I thought, what if they rained down neon rain? There was acid. That sounds very brutal and very death metal, but still hard rock.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
that's it.
that's pretty dope, man. You know, I mean, like, that's pretty creative, honestly. And neon is very 80s. So I was born too late for the 80s. I was born in 93, but I'm a big car guy, big music head. So like, all of my favorite bands, all of like my favorite cars, everything 80s, man. The decade of decadence, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so moving on then to Head and Roll. Head and Roll, and I mean no insult by this, is my favorite track that you guys have out so far. And because I listened to Neon Rain, Head and Roll, you know, it seems to be more of an improvement from where you guys, you know, the already amazing starting point, and Head and Roll comes out. If this is like the progression, I can't wait to hear what else you guys are coming out with later on down the line. But Head and Roll, this is why in the beginning I was like, I'm hearing a lot of like Church of Misery, like this doom stoner sludge, that heavy bass, the fuzzy distortion. I love it. Let's talk about this track, man. I've been anxious.
Yeah, first of all, this track was recorded at a different studio with a terrific guy called Martin at MA Productions. And he did so fast and terrific job. We were so pleased with his work.
Yeah.
That's why I think the track also, and we rehearsed it like crazy.
Yeah.
We just nailed it. We just rehearse. Yeah.
Yeah, everything went so smooth, I think.
Yeah.
And especially working with Martin, I think it was really easy. And he's a really like chill guy, and yeah.
And the bass was one take.
Yeah, the bass was actually the first take. Yeah.
And was supposed to be just a sloppy, you know, and he's gonna do a retake, but no, we said keep it. It's too good.
So how did you guys fare, you know, going through? If the bass only took one take, I mean, like, was it the same with you guys, just one take, or did you guys have to do multiples?
Actually, we did one, like the first recording, when we start with the drums. So we start with recording the drums, and then we call it slask bass and the slask guitar in Sweden. I don't know
well, just
yeah, it's just like a draft, really. Like like the guitars and bass and drums play together, but we keep the drums, and then we actually record the bass and the guitar again. But this time, like we said, the bass line was so good, so we kept that as well. But then we recorded the guitars, and yeah, that was all, actually like first takes. I think one of them took like 2 takes, but it's usually me. I'm not. I'm really self-critic, so I'm not, no, that doesn't work. Then we need to redo it. But yeah.
Gotcha. So I want to move on. I want to ask. I'd like to, you know, kind of get a general idea, because I've obviously been very much, you know, praising your guys' work so far here, but I am just some prick on the internet, as I like to constantly say about myself on this show. How has your music been received so far?
Mostly
good, but
yeah.
We had few reviews that is just doesn't get it what we are trying to do.
I don't think, yeah.
They are calling it maybe too slow, or not death and roll, is more doom they call it, but we try to mix the genre.
Yeah, and actually we also play a little with like the tempos and stuff, because we're not really, but our drummer is really, he's a prog dude. I mean, he likes progressive metal and that progressive stuff. So maybe that's not what like everyone's not getting it. Maybe what we try to do, because we have some prog elements in some stuff. We actually do.
I feel like that's something that's really hard in today's day and age for people to genuinely pin down, you know, what people are coming out with these days. One, I mean, metal has probably more subgenres than any other genre of music out there. So I mean, like, it is, you know, it is easy, and I guess a little unintentional sometimes, to kind of flow through different, you know, subgenres, almost unknowingly or maybe intentionally, and combine elements of different subgenres of metal to create your specific sound, you know. And I would say that whoever's saying that it's like, you know, it's too slow or whatever, I don't know. I don't know how they're a critic. But I also don't know how to properly, because I love music, man. I love metal, hence Metal for the Masses. I feel like I would be a terrible critic, because I would just listen to stuff and be like, this is fucking awesome, or like, this is great, or and I would be like, I really don't want to like I really don't want to like tear into a band. Like, I want to like praise them up. I want to go into like what I liked about it and go with just that, you know, because it's like, it's not easy. It's not easy, you know, getting out there and getting everybody together, putting this music out, spending your time and money to get this stuff out there, and to have somebody kind of give you their opinion of it. You know, you kind of gotta take it with a grain of salt. I mean, like, I'm glad that it's been, like you said, it's been mostly good. You know, the good is outweighing the bad, I would imagine.
Yes.
Perfect.
Definitely.
That's all that fucking matters, man. Because these days, I always say it. We're fighting against the mainstream music scene who seem to just want to play the same couple handful of bands that they've been playing since the 80s and 90s. And you don't really hear a lot of bands like yourself or anybody else out there, you know, in the newer generation. And that's something that I've always tried to fight against here on my show. And it's why I try to get as many interviews with these bands as possible. So, I mean, like, it's an honor to have you guys here and talk about your music and talk about your work. Have you guys been playing any live shows yet? Because I interview a lot of bands that they do a lot of the recording, but they don't play live. Some are hindered by the fact that they're one-man bands. They're doing a lot of the stuff with today's technology. But you guys do play live, correct?
Yeah. We have done about 7 shows.
Yeah, I guess.
For now, yeah. Around Sweden, and we've been in Denmark. So 7 shows right now, or the 7th. Next week.
Coming up, right?
Yeah, coming up next week.
Next week.
Are you guys usually headlining, or are you guys
No.
Nah, not yet. Oh,
not yet.
Who's probably, have you guys played with any like big acts? I'm familiar with like a couple bands from that area. Like not just Sweden, but like that whole like Nordic area. Like Harakiri for the Sky and Grand Magus, and like a lot of cool bands that I've gotten to hear throughout my years over there. But who I guess who's like the biggest name that you guys have been able to play with so far?
Centinex.
Right?
Yeah, they're a 90s death metal band that started the Stockholm 90s death metal sound together with Entombed and Dismember.
Oh, that's fucking great.
They're the biggest.
Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, then you guys are on the list, so people are definitely hearing you. So that's fucking awesome. I kind of don't know. I've never really been to Sweden, and like I said in the beginning of the interview, you guys are like the first Swedish band that I've ever interviewed. I've interviewed bands from I think the farthest I've reached so far is Australia, but the farthest like in Europe has gone, like, 'cause I count Australia by itself, but the farthest in Europe that I've gone is probably Belgium. But everywhere is different. You know what I mean? It's like we're all on the same rock, you know, floating through space, but like every region on this rock is very different. So like I always like to ask these bands, because it's like I'm here in the United States, and whenever, you know, we think Europe, you know, we think whatever the American thought of Europe is, where it's not over there. But so like how is Sweden? How have you guys been able to fare with your sound of music? Like, what's the overarching sound in the metal community over there?
Well, we fare good there because we have still the old school death metal sound. So that is still going on here. Mostly the bands here are also black metal is very big here in Sweden.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, and young thrash metal bands.
Yeah, thrash metal.
Yeah, it's gone on the rise, really on the rise.
Really?
Even a young thrash metal band won the Grammys, right? I think so.
Which one was?
I don't remember, but it was a thrash metal band that won the Swedish Grammys.
That's crazy, because like you said, I mean, like usually when we think of Sweden, we think like, you know, black metal. You know, I don't want to talk about the other stuff that we think about when we think of Sweden, because it's not nice. I don't want to go like, yeah, for sure, but I don't want to go down that road. We're not here to go down stereotypes, because everybody can say whatever they want about the United States. It's you know, we don't do kilometers per hour, we do meters per cheeseburger or whatever it is, you know. But it's nice, man. I very much enjoy you know, getting to talk to different cultures here on my show and hear about the metal scene, the music scene in these different areas, and to hear that thrash is kind of on the rise in your area. That's very shocking because for decades it's been, like you said, it's been black metal, you know.
Mm.
So for thrash to kind of be like poking its head out and get on the rise, that's nuts. Like, is it like Metallica thrash, Megadeth thrash, like
It's different. It's even the you know, the creator, you know, the more harsh thrash, and
Exactly.
even more the San Francisco, you know, the Metallica Exodus thrash also.
Yeah.
It's a mix of both,
Yeah,
really.
it's really a mix. Yeah.
All right.
And sometimes blackened thrash.
Yeah,
also.
blackened thrash is
Yeah, yeah,
so-
with a mix with black metal and thrash.
Yeah.
I have heard some blackened thrash, and that stuff is that takes an ear of a very fine. You can't just take your normie friend who's like, I listen to everything, and be like, here's some blackened thrash. You can't do that to them.
No, no.
They're not going to know what to do with it. But that is that's quite interesting. But that's really cool, guys. I definitely feel more enlightened to your area, to what's going on, to your band. I think it's really fucking amazing. And with that being said, what's next for you guys, man? Like, what's on the horizon?
Well, we are planning another recording.
Yeah.
For winter, fall, winter.
Yeah, exactly.
When we are ready.
We are
when we are
taking a
rehearsed.
little like more chill now with gigs, and we are actually
Rehearsing.
Going, yeah, we are rehearsing, and plans are going into the studio. Like we are playing this show next week, and
then we're gonna take a break
Yeah.
from gigs.
Gotcha.
Recording another single.
And just polish some stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Any maybe a word on a potential album coming out anytime soon, or maybe in the works for next year?
We haven't talked really about it. We just been
Really?
focused on this next recording.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
we
so
are
like-
pretty new yet, and we need to get a fan base before we talk about the album.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
We're usually talking like a single at a time, so we're planning one song. So, but yeah, I wouldn't say an album. Sure, why not? But
Yeah,
but
down
maybe
the road,
not,
yeah.
down the road, but maybe not.
Not in the plans right now, at
not
least.
currently, at least.
Well, gotcha. I'll keep my ear out for this next single that you guys will be putting on later on down the line, because as I've said before, the two tracks that I've been spinning here on my show that I've been listening to here in my free time, I love it. I think you guys definitely have an amazing sound, a very refreshing sound that I've been able to hear for probably the past couple months. Just because I listen to a lot of music. So it's like, it's nice to hear something where it's like, oh my God, like from the get-go, it's amazing. So I very much like what you guys are doing. I can't wait to hear what you guys are going to be putting out next. And I think one more thing, I never touched upon it. The name, Atomic Spitfire.
Mm.
How'd you guys come up with that? Are you guys a fan of nuclear weapons and planes, and you're like, the Spitfire is amazing, let's just call ourselves that? Or what went into the name?
Actually, the name, a band called Godzilla Got Too Drunk to Destroy Tokyo released the album called Atomic Spitfire, and I thought, I gotta take that name. That name is too amazing to go spoiled.
Because it is catchy. Like that's
Yeah,
it's a very catchy name.
Because the first name we had in line was after Stephen King novel and movie that we both love, Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
Well, was our first name.
That was initially. What
Yeah,
we
but
were planning to
I
call
think
it, but-
down the line, Atomic Spitfire fits more.
Yeah, it fits more.
Yeah.
And
I
actually, the name like it like kind of grew on us, and then we started like, yeah, but sure. I mean, Atomic Spitfire. I mean, the Spitfire, the plane, didn't carry nuclear weapon, but what if it did?
Yeah.
Like,
It's definitely a catchy name. Like when you guys reached out, just immediately I was like, who's messaging me? Atomic Spitfire. Oh man, let me check this out. These guys sound pretty. These guys sound pretty cool, and it has been. I'm super super grateful that you guys reached out, and I'm glad that I could have you guys here on my show. And I can't wait to see what's next for you guys, man. I can't stress that enough. I can't wait to hear what's coming out next. I'm definitely going to be keeping tabs on you guys, and hopefully we can have you here again, man. It's definitely been great.
Like, yeah, so glad to hear you like it, and great. I mean, huge thanks for having us.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, really awesome.
Absolutely. It's been my honor, and definitely can't wait to have you guys again. You guys are Atomic Spitfire. They have 2 tracks out. It's called Neon Rain and Head and Roll. These guys are a death and roll band from Sweden. Not a black metal band, a death and roll band.
No,
so
absolutely not.
They're breaking the stereotype. They're breaking out. They are definitely a band to keep track of. And give them a like, give them a follow, and blow these guys up, man. They definitely deserve it. So, gentlemen, any parting words?
Well, I'm not good at this.
No. Rock on, party on.
Rock on, party on. Like, follow us, look us up. We're at Apple Music. We're at Spotify. We are on Facebook,
Instagram.
Yeah, almost everywhere. YouTube. I mean, check us out. Give us a follow, and huge thanks for having us. And
yeah, thank you, man.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah,
you're doing great stuff.
Absolutely. It's my honor again, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me.